You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lain, here every week, talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. Oh, it's kind of sad to think this is the last show of the year. But a new year is coming. It's very exciting what's happening. Spring is already starting to arrive here at Waters Garden Center. We're starting to get new pottery, fountains, statues, benches, bird baths, that hard goods. We call them hard goods, hard things that aren't living. They are hard goods. So it's your fertilizers, your mulches, your statuaries. These are all things that don't need water to keep them going. It's hardscape. Softscape is the plants, the soft material. There's things that soften up. So those vines that soften up that brick wall, the privacy screens that give you exclusion as you're in the hot tub, those are all softscapes. So that's kind of an industry kind of lingo. Now you're up to date on that. We've got a lot in store this show. I thought I would start by sharing, what am I starting to do? So winter, it's winter now. It's chilly finally. It's been beautiful actually. So finally I'm starting to prune, clean things up, prune back perennials, grasses. Thought I'd just go through the list of what I've been doing in my own yards. And I take a while. So I really don't have that much to do at the garden center because it's softer right now. So we close down between Christmas and New Year's, and I just give the whole team off. So go refresh, spend time with your family, with your friends, just get recharged because we're coming back in January 2, full steam ahead. Here we go, go. It's coming. And then the classes will start back. I think January, when is that? 10th, something like that. So we've got a garden series. The spring session is starting in a couple of weeks. And then it's full court press starting whenever the nice weather in February hits. It's like we're filling up 2 acres of garden centers. And so we've got a little time right here where I can just spend some time in my own backyard. And that's what I do. So I'm cleaning things up. I started with my grasses. So we've had some beautiful grasses. They're all brown now, not all of them. The pampas grass has some green left. That's the really big grass. It's taller than you and I don't really have that one in my yard because it's too high. It's such a high needs grass. I just go, I don't need that much. I'm doing some of the smaller ones, the coral forester grass, the zebra grass, the miscanthus, the buffaloes. These are all, if it's brown right now, you can go ahead and cut those back down to the ground. Literally, I mean, I just take my hedgers and I go, a few ankle high. There's a lot of slop factor. Just get it close. What you don't want is new growth coming up. Usually it starts the end of February, March. You're starting to see new tender growth coming up. You don't want that blending with the brown, the green. Then it's hard to clean out. Ugh. Just do it now. The first snow we're going to have is going to get everything to lay down anyway. So just cut it back at your convenience. You're going to fertilize it here in a couple, 6-8 weeks. It's going to ignite with fresh, new green growth. And you'll just go, oh, I love spring. But it's time to clean those things up. Frequently, I'll take either my hedgers. I've done weed whackers, a little sloppy because that cord kind of wraps around the grasses, or my favorite, lawnmower. Just kind of whack it off and down to the ground. It's a perfect height and it's done. So whatever is in your pruners, you can go that old school. Just take the pruners and cut them back as close as you can. But cut your grasses back. I would say by the end of February. You got a couple months. Just go for it. I had some time this last week, just before the holidays. And I went, I'm going to do it. Just cut it back. It's time. And then the second one that took a half a day. I have a massive emery oak. There's several types of oak trees that grow here. There's the leafed ones. These are the pin oaks, the red oaks. They're quite famous in the higher elevation, like Groom Creek, Highland pines, they just grow wild. It's got the classic oak leaf shape. They've turned red for the fall and they've dropped their leaves now. You can rake all those up. You can shape it and trim things up as you need. They don't need a lot of high maintenance. The ones I was dealing with were the scrub type of the evergreen oaks. These are ones that don't lose their leaves, at least not until spring. They will. Usually March, April, they start to, as the new leaves come out, they force the old leaf off. So it's got a brief moment where it's not many leaves on it, but it's not very long. And then fresh new leaves come out. What I found was they grow kind of wild. Had this wild, they're going between the houses and they're almost touching both houses. This is a gigantic tree. I'm going, oh, listen, you got to grow up and be beautiful. You can't just be mangy and grow straight out. I don't need an umbrella. I want a majestic, beautiful tree. So I started shaping the tree, finding the main branches, going, you're okay, you're going to grow up this way. It's kind of artistry, a good pruning, a good pruner. So I got the artistry in there. We're getting to go. And then I found, wow, this tree is really diseased. Some oaks, you can find a small ball. It's usually orange, not always. It can be brown. Mine were big brown. Some of them were orange, kind of the size of tennis balls, the bigger ones. Some of the smaller ones can be the size of a large marble ping pong ball. None of those are good for your oaks. It's called a gall, G-A-L, gall. And it's a disease that kind of gets on there. And if it gets bad enough, 1 or 2 galls, not a big deal. This one had hundreds. And by the time I got done cleaning this thing up, I cut it right back to the main core going, okay, we're going to help you come out fresh next spring. And trees, remember, plants, they feel pretty when you get done. They like to be cut on. They like to be shaped and groomed and beautified. They feel beautiful when you get done. They like to touch and interact with the gardener. They like the feeling you have with cutting back, giving them haircuts. Don't be afraid. It's hard to make a mistake because you're going to fertilize here after you're done pruning. It's all going to come out fresh, new growth, and it will never know. It will put all of its energy in the remaining leaf and flower buds that come back. So don't worry. I think most folks are just, they worry too much. They're too anxious about pruning back plants. They don't realize plants, they like it. Grasses like to be cut back to the ground. In fact, my zebra grass already had some new stems coming up. I went, oh, well, I want it all to be even. We're cutting the green and the brown. We're all back to the same level, right back to just below ankle height. The oak tree had some leaves left. It's got a beautiful, beautiful form, and not one gall is left on this plant. It is completely disease-free. Oh, she was just thanking me so much for this. It had been a couple of years. I should have done it last year. I just didn't take the time. And it's an oak tree, especially a big one. It's kind of where do I even start? And so I just started by stepping back and going, if I'm going to run my forehead into a branch, you got to go. If you're going down to the ground, you got to go because I want up and beautiful. If you're going out and trying to touch the houses, you got to go. I just started with the got to goes. The growing to the inside of the tree instead of out flowing that into vase shape, you got to go. If you had disease on it, you had to go. And so by the time I got done, there's just a couple branches left, and I just gave it proportion, and it was beautiful now. And so you can start this pruning process. Your fruit trees, now your oak trees, if obviously your shade trees like maples, sometimes they get this wild locust. They get these branches come straight down to the ground. It's like they want to grow into the ground. What are you thinking? Stop doing that. Stop growing that way. These are wild plants. And if you let them grow wild, they will take over your yard. You want this groomed, nice, beautiful, shaped like you've made this wild thing. You've tamed this wild plant to look beautiful in your yard. And so that's what pruning is all about. And you can go aggressive pruning in winter now because the bugs are gone. The sap really isn't flowing that much. And so you can be much more aggressive. Up to a third of the foliage mass can be cut out of a tree, a shrub, that kind of stuff. And I'll go further into that. Hi, Ken here with the finds of the week and our Deodar cedars.
A standalone tree so beautifully shaped it's referred to as the Christmas tree.
Fastest growing of the evergreen trees, used for quick screens, windbreaks, and privacy.
Graceful arches sweep through the landscape in colors of blue to green from the stately tree.
An evergreen lover's dream for fast, thick growth.
Waters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Waters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.